to that. Let's jump in. I wanted to showcase some innovations, right? And I say intellectual property. Again, we're talking about patents, trademarks, trade secrets, and copyrights. I'm going to focus on patents, of course. That's what I got behind me in the sign. But I do want to get into some trademark stuff as it comes up.
Yeah, I can't spell the word patent, so
we don't let you do that. And so we kind of stay in our lane, if you will.
Yep, 100%.
So I had some fun before the show, and I was poking around, and I found a whole bunch. So I'm just going to share my screen. Let's get into it. Keep an eye on the screen for anybody asking questions. We'll just jump into it here. This first one is I was kind of laughing at the drawings because it looks like it may be solo inventor kind of getting their own pen and pencil out.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I love it. I love it. It looks like a toilet bowl lid. I know this is a podcast, so JD, maybe you need to describe what I'm looking at here, because it looks like, to me, this looks like a toilet seat with a bobber attached to it.
A hand pump, basically. Just how much basically pressure you have on the seat. Listen, air inflated. It does look like a toilet seat.
It actually is a toilet seat?
No, this is self-inflatable American football neck collar.
Oh, it's right. A neck collar. Okay, I was going to go with either it looked like a toilet seat or a life vest.
Yeah, let's play. What is that? So, yeah, as you can imagine, I don't know if you ever play football, but one of the biggest concerns is neck injuries, right? Among other injuries. Yeah. So this would go between basically the helmet and the shoulder pads. You've seen some people, even professional athletes will have neck collars. So there you go. You basically get to adjust the pressure fairly simply, straightforwardly. It's got a little hook and loop attachment, and it seems pretty straightforward. So this was filed. There's a publication. This is not a patent. So really important, if you're looking at patent documents, you'll be extra wise to note in the upper right what you're looking at. If you just see the US and it has a year and then a slash, that just means it's a publication. They do not have a granted patent on this yet. What happens is when you submit an application, and within 18 months, it will publish. And so this likely means it's still pending. Maybe the examiner hasn't even reviewed it yet. Okay, so again, looking at the drawings, that's a great way to get a picture of what you're looking at. This inventor likely filed their own invention. And I say that because they're specifying things like inches.
Oh, yeah.
Goodness, you don't want to put inches. And why would you want to specify, hey, this belt or this attachment can only be 2 inches wide? You would want to have an infinite number of potential dimensions to cover the invention broadly. So that's what a patent attorney could help you with, is help you kind of make sure you're not limiting yourself to one specific type of collar. But hey, it was submitted. It's got a couple claims. So I'm hoping the best for this individual out of Alabama.
Yeah.
John Jr. All right. So that's number one. Any questions on that? Please let them fly. Let's go to our next invention. And I'll scroll down and just give you the picture because it's kind of fun.
I kind of like this game. Maybe you could just find some like patent art, and we could play the game like, what is this thing, right? And I could guess toilet seat, and you could be like, no, it's neck collar.
Exactly.
This could be. I'm looking at this, and this to me looks like a 2-person straw.
Come on.
It's a goalpost. I know that.
Yeah, it does look like it to me. Now, I'm looking at the bottom, and honestly, I haven't looked too much at this. I see some attachments on the bottom, so I feel like this could almost be sort of a framework, right, for attaching this and putting this, or a removable goalpost of sorts.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if those are meant to be buried like a dead man post.
That's almost like on a track or a rail. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the title. Portable football field goalpost and methods. I like that. This may have been drafted by a counselor out of Texas. A lot of football in Texas. So abstract is easy. I love reading that. Right. The present disclosure provides a portable football field goal and methods for making and using the same. Portable American football. They did highlight that, David, for you. Yep. Comprises. That's a fancy legal word. It just means it can contain all this stuff in the list, and then it could include more. That's what that word means, comprises. It looks like it is what it is. So it's a structural piece. It's removable. Again, this is still an application, so it's pending. They've even got a picture of the thing. Looks like it's relatively small. Unless I don't know. Maybe it's a youth field goal.
It is teeny.
Right. The claims are at the bottom, so they've got, parts. So just want to point out here. So this is the first claim. They're talking about the physical parts, right? Crossbars, upright, vertical, horizontal, which is that first part. Then they get into 7. Okay, a method for making it. So they really sometimes you want to go into this, sometimes you don't. A method for making something. Again, this is a great point. I think I'll take a little break on the sharing. Is you want to consider reverse engineerability. If you're going to be telling the world how to go make this, not just what it is, you want to make sure that if you can make it in such a way to where no one else can figure out how to reverse engineer it, you want to actually keep that method as a trade secret. Okay. It's a cool way to keep both. But if you think after you sell it, someone could just take it apart and figure it out real quick, then it's a good idea to think about protecting the method for putting it together. So in this case, maybe they've thought about those pieces like a Lego puzzle, or they've positioned the parts to be assembled in a certain way. Might be a wise thing. David's got a comment here. Would such limitations be used to squeak an application past someone otherwise conflicting prior art? Absolutely, David. Great point. So going back to Mr.
Toilet seat guy,
Mr. Connell, yeah, John Connell Jr. I was ragging on him for being so specific. David does bring up a good point that adding limitations, maybe not quite that drastic, can be a way to get around prior art. So when an examiner finally gets a chance to look at that, I hate to just call it a toilet seat, but it looks like a toilet seat. The examiner is going to say, "Oh, you know what? This has been done before. There's been inflatable seats, like this, but and this is the prior art." And so the examples may be a really thin one. And so what he may be able to do is say, "You know what? My seat is at least 4 inches thick," right? and put some parameters around the thickness of some dimensions. And they'd have to probably also argue why that's not an obvious thing, right? Maybe even suggest that, hey, there's been some publications around too high of a toilet seat might be unsafe. And so therefore there was no reason to go above 3 or 4 inches. And yet he did. So anyway, a lot of argument may be coming for that, but I appreciate that input. We'll just keep cruising. I've got 3 others and we'll keep playing our little game.
Cool.
Jump to our bold bite in just a few minutes. So football innovations. So we're here. Let me just get this one ready before I share. This one looks rad. I just got to say. Let's share this tab.
Oh, yeah.
Number 3.
It's some LARPing armor.
Oh, that's a new word for me. I need a definition on that.
LARPing?
Yes.
Live action role playing.
Oh, is that related to like Dungeons and Dragons kind of stuff?
Yeah. My wife's cousins are super into it. Like they get all dressed up and they go around beating each other with fake swords, stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that. But, anyone from the audience, let's take a look at. Maybe have any ideas on this?
I mean, isn't that well? I'm trying to make it look and see what's unique about it. Oh, there's a grab handle on it.
Ding, ding, ding. You nailed it.
Interesting.
There are a plurality of handles. What you'll see here, what this is it's an alternative tackle out gear. So basically it teaches someone, maybe a youth, under the age of 12 or whatever, to grab handles instead of to actually knock someone silly. And so you're kind of grabbing hold of them and so as you're training to wrap your arms around them and tackle them. So giving you a little bit more leverage. I'm just picturing some little guy wearing this and someone grabbing this handle and hanging him in the air.
Totally. Yeah.
But there is protective football equipment apparatus with alternative tackling element.
Interesting.
So American football, they got a bunch of handles on it. I am pro all of this, right? Pro safety, pro alternative stuff. I'm big into flag football personally. I know a lot of folks out there may be, big on the hit and smash stuff, but some of those injuries are just so awful.
Yeah. Whenever you see someone get really hurt playing football, it's like, why are we doing this?
Right. So this is something cool. I like it. I mean, I think the drawings are well done. They can kind of show it, with the shirt over the top. That's a great way to show the.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that a lot.
So anyway, obviously it would come with a whole different rule set, than the.
Do those handles come off then? Is that how it works?
Well, looks like they do. So you got a removable attachment. Here's just one means of that. We got a basically it buckles on. So maybe to make it more challenging, you'd have fewer handles, right?
Oh yeah, it's like your hand. Yeah.
So let's do our next one here. I'll get this one prepared. I love just looking at drawings. Okay, here we go. Ready? All right. What do you see? What looks different?
Wow. Okay. I mean, the face mask is really different on this thing.
Where's the utility here, do you think? I know people listening aren't going to be able to see. What we're looking at is a traditional football helmet, but the mask has got really, I'll say, fine mesh, a finer.
Yeah, it almost looks like a fencing mask on the bottom half. Okay. I don't know. I suppose it's probably to keep people's fingers out of your face. I don't know.
You're on fire, sir. You're on fire. Non-grabbable football helmet, likely to protect, as you just said, fingers from getting ripped off, deformed, stuck in helmets. Yeah. Oftentimes you'll see helmets with that kind of, just perfect enough where you can get a finger in, and it's just an awful situation for that, just getting dislocated. So really like that. Good stuff. It probably helps prevent face masking, right? Which is of course a penalty. Sometimes it's incidental.
Yep, nothing to grab there.
Safety feature. But God, that is ugly looking. For those that are on podcasts, come on and take a look at this thing. I don't think anybody that's getting, $30 million a year is going to put that thing on. But
no.
Maybe they will. I can see a kicker with traditionally the single bar, right?
Yep.
Just having a fit over this. Just trying to see
Aaron Rodgers style, right?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's do one more and we'll wrap up our show here. Again, I picked some easy ones. There are, I'll just say, a lot of innovations with respect to AI and VR and software, and just looking at really cool things with lighting. They were very complicated and it would require a process flow chart and things like that. But I wanted to show some very easy mechanical inventions for you all today.
Yep.
So here's the last one.
Oh, that's a football holder for kicking.
Oh my gosh, you nailed it! I'm a kicker, and I thought, hey, I used
to. I've seen Ace Ventura, and I know who Ray Finkel is, so that's the only reason that I'm, aware what this apparatus is.
Yeah, instead of basically having to have a buddy hold the ball for you, this is going to do it. So it's very simple, very simple. This is out of China, so I wanted to point that out too. It's good to point that. So you don't have to always be a U.S. citizen to file a U.S. patent application.
Sure. Yeah.
This is a still, again, published pending application. So likely was filed first in China, I'm guessing, but maybe it was first filed here. And then they did a foreign filing here in the U.S. And so
what's unique about this is that it's foldable.
Well, let's take a look. To find out what they're alleging is unique. They really get granular on the fastening mechanisms. Substantial amount of detail there, which is reasonable because look, we're 2023. What hasn't been done yet with folding metal,
right? So
we're looking at way at the bottom. Oh my goodness, that is the longest clamp element I think I've ever seen. Okay, there's at least 300 words in the third element alone. So 2 elongated supporting arms, an elongated holding arm, having holding end portion. And then a holder joint, which I think where all the innovation is they're hoping going to be. Generally a V-shaped configuration, having a lots of structure. So I was really surprised. This is extremely specific. Again, just remember, if you're trying to avoid infringing this, if this were to be a patent one day, you would just have to not do one of these things in this 40-line description.
Isn't just from your perspective, JD, like this client comes to you and says, hey, like, can I patent this? Isn't this obvious? Like,
we're probably not gonna, had they come to us, and this is again really quick kind of armchair quarterback style, but we would likely say, you know what, there's so much prior art, we don't think we can get you a patent that will help you corner the market in this space, right? And they may still come back and say, you know what, I still want you to file it because I want to be able to put patent pending on my product. And sometimes that is enough. But there are some clients that just want a absolutely very, very specific patent. And it when it comes down to it, it's almost for ego. So those are not our favorite types to work on. We want to go for bold patents only.
Yeah, we want game changing, world changing inventions.